Hello everyone, good evening to all. So welcome you all on the platform of TaxGuru on a very important topic, on a very important subject, or you can say a very hot topic in the current scenario, that is GSTR 9 and 9C annual return and reconciliation statement. Sir, this session is on YouTube live. Okay. So I request each one of you, if it is possible for you, then just share the information related to this session with your professional friends, with other professional groups, so that everyone can join. Okay. And we all can create a great world of knowledge through this particular session on GST annual return and reconciliation statement. Okay. So as we all know, the timeline to file the income tax audit reports, the due date is on tomorrow. Okay, so I think everyone has already completed the work and now we all are ready for the performance of work related to GST annual return and reconciliation statement. Okay, and this task is very important, and I am always saying that this GSTR 9 and 9C, this GSTR 9 and 9C is not merely your compliance part. This is the annual closing from the perspective of GST. And you can say from income tax perspective, income tax audit done, ITR done. Now the last compliance which we have, that is GST. And if we forgot to report anything in the GSTR 9 or 9C return, or if we filled any wrong information in the GSTR 9 and 9C, it will create litigation in future. And as we all know, nowadays department is coming with multiple type of scrutiny assessment. In case of each and every type of scrutiny and assessment, they are first asking the documentation that is called as GSTR 9 and 9C. Why? Because they know the importance of this specific form. Okay. So first I am just going to share with you the importance. क्योंकि जब मैं इंपॉर्टेंस शेयर करूंगा ना, तभी आप उसके ऊपर पूरा ध्यान दे पाएंगे. वरना होता क्या है, जब तक डॉक्टर हमको किसी बीमारी का कोई स्पेसिफिक इश्यू नहीं बताता है या उसका क्या इफेक्ट आएगा वो नहीं बताता, तब तक हम भी उसको केयरफुली नहीं देखते हैं. सो द सेम इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन अस. So from litigation perspective, this GSTR 9 and 9C is very important. Yes, this is a part of compliances. This is the last time when you are submitting the reconciliation related to a particular financial year, so that it will be a record for future. So we all should be very much careful while filing the GSTR 9 and 9C return. And in this particular session, I will not take your much more time. I will conclude the session in next 45 minutes, but I request each one of you your 100% attention on the screen for these 45 minutes, because I am going to share with you multiple very special issues related to GSTR 9 and 9C. And this time a lot of changes are also there in GSTR 9 and 9C. So we also need to take care of those changes very specially. Okay. So before starting the session, I have certain suggestions. Okay, I have certain suggestions for the smooth conduct of session. Okay, so that we all can gain a very great knowledge. First requirement, sir, I require your 100% attention. This session will be interesting, interactive. So if you have any query, any question, any doubt, in that case, chat box is yours. You can put your queries. Okay, mode of communication of this session will be in English. Okay, certain example may be in Hindi. If you are not comfortable with Hindi, then I will convert the same into English, not an issue. Okay. The third thing which I require, that sir, if it is possible, just keep one pen and paper with you, so that if you found any important, any special point, you can make note of that. Okay. And if it is possible, share the link with your article with your staff, so everyone can join and engage themselves for this very important session. Okay. And I wish, while filing the GSTR 9 and 9C return this time, through this particular specific workshop webinar, you will gain something. Okay. And at the end of this session, I have something for all of you. So please be there till the last moment of this session. Okay. So sir, first confirm me once in the chat box, you all are ready to learn the special things related to GSTR 9 and 9C through this workshop. I just require your comments in the chat box. Sir, through this particular session, I request each one of you, 4 to 5 times I will ask you that, sir, this point is okay, this concept is okay. You just need to put it in the chat box. Okay, so that it will be very great for us. Sir, recorded will be available on the YouTube only, so you can check it anytime. But I request be there live. Okay, it's live, sir. Because recorded, you will get a lot of videos. But today we have opportunity to connect live. So create a bond through this specific session virtually. I just want to feel that I am not in front of any camera. I am in a seminar hall. I am taking the session for all of you. Okay. And we all are going to discuss the things. I am not a faculty. I am just your friend, and we are just going to discuss on a very important topic, that is GSTR-9. First, we'll discuss the GSTR-9, okay, for first 30 minutes. Then we have 15 minutes discussion on GSTR-9C, okay, and a special gift for all of you at the end of this specific session. Sir, GSTR-9 return, that is annual return. The first thing which you need to keep in your mind, this is not a compliance, or I can say this is merely not a compliance. This is more than a compliance. So we should keep this concept in our mind. This time when you will go for GSTR 9 and 9C, you should do one thing. Prepare a list of documentation which is required to file the GSTR 9. Provide the list of documentation to your client in one shot. And sir, as I have limited amount of time, okay, so what I will do, I will manage my speed. I will try to provide you each and every content. So please keep it in your mind. Try to note down the things. Okay. So we'll also discuss the documentation which is required for effective GSTR 9 and 9C. And with the documentation, plan one exit meeting with your client. Every time what we are doing, we are merely filing the GSTR 9 and 9C on the portal. We are not going for an exit meeting with client. तो क्लाइंट सोचता है यार 9 और 9C में है क्या, डेटा ही तो कंसोलिडेट करना है. Or if you will ask your client to come your office and discuss the things related to 9 and 9C, it will give an idea to your client that yes, my chartered accountant, my tax consultant is making extra efforts. So we can ask for fees as well. Okay. So this is also a strategy. I am not going to share only the knowledge of GSTR 9 and 9C. I will also share some knowledge about the strategies to present ourselves. Okay. Because as a tax consultant, there is one issue. So due date will be 31st December 2024. Okay. So there is one issue that we have very sound amount of knowledge, but there is issue with the presentation skills. Okay. So through this session, we'll also try to gain some strategies for the presentation as well. Okay. So the applicability of GSTR 9, we should conduct a exit meeting with our client. In that exit meeting, we just need to ask, sir, have you added any product in your business, so that we can compare it with the HSN code? Have you added any additional place of business? We can check it through the GSTN common portal. Have you discontinued any additional place of business? We can update the same. Your principal place of business is same, which is mentioned on GSTN common portal. You may ask for sample invoices, so that check that the HSN code and SEC code wise summary which is maintained on the GSTN common portal is perfect or not. These 4 to 5 tasks we have to perform with our client, so that it will give you a view. It will give a view to your client that yes, my tax consultant is making some extra efforts. First thing, okay, from strategy perspective. Second thing, if your turnover is 2 crore or more, in that case, this GSTR 9 is mandatorily required. Otherwise, it is optional. But I suggest, if there is certain issues, with respect to reconciliation, file your GSTR 9 in case of below 2 crore as well. Okay. Calculation of turnover will always be PAN number based. Suppose you have 3 GSTN. For Rajasthan, 80 lakh rupees. For Gujarat, 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. For Maharashtra, 80 lakh rupees. Individually, turnover is below 2 crore rupees. But if you will check cumulatively, it crosses the 2 crore rupees. So the GSTR 9 applicability will be there for all the GSTN. Applicable for regular registered person. If there will be any delay, in that case, yes, penalty and late fees will also be there. Okay. So we just need to keep this point in our mind. Now, we have a clause by clause analysis of GSTR 9. We'll discuss each and every clause in a very simplified way. So I require your attention on each and every clause, but don't take any burden on your mind. Feel free, sit on your chairs. If you are in office, take one cup of tea and discuss with me regarding each and every clause of this GSTR 9. So first clause, that is first part, which is basic details. Very basic. GSTN, financial year, legal name, trade name, very basic. No any special thing is there. Then second thing, which is my details related to outward supply. Sir, think logically. in the GSTR-9, we are saying this is the annual return. That is, after close of the financial year, we have to file the GSTR-9 return regarding all the data of the particular financial year. That means conclusively we can say while filing the GSTR-9 return, I have to provide the details related to outward supply, related to input tax credit basically. So this GSTR-9 is also based on these two things. One is outward supply, another is input tax credit. Now, if we'll go for the bifurcation of outward supply, there may be chances I am making during the financial year, I have made the supply of taxable portion or I have made for not taxable portion. Sir, what do you mean by not taxable? That means the tax is not leviable on a specific supply. You can say nil rated, exempted, non-GST, zero rated supply, supply to special economic zone, or a specific supply on which recipient is liable to make the payment of taxes. Okay. Very basically, think logically, very basically. Two parts, one is taxable, another is not taxable. Not taxable includes nil rated, exempted, non-GST, zero rated, supply to special economic zone. Now, if we'll talk about the taxable portion, then there may be chances you are making the supply domestically. That means as I am in Jodhpur, Rajasthan, I am making the supply in India itself. There may be chances I am involved in export, but I am making the export with payment of tax. Okay. As we all know, two type of exports are there. One is with payment, another is without payment. So I am involved in with payment of tax. Suppose I have made the supply to a special economic zone with payment of taxes. Or, sir, in case of services, as we all know, GST is applicable on advances. Suppose in March 2025 month, you have booked one session from me. You told that Mr. Sachin, you have to take one session for us, and this is the advance amount. Suppose 1 lakh rupees you have given. No invoice has been raised by me, but as I have received that 1 lakh rupees as advance on account of services, I have to pay the GST on that amount in my GSTR-1 and 3B return. So while filing the GSTR-9 return, I also need to show that amount under advances. So, sir, when I am using to share the various fields, sir, GSTR-9 filing due date is 31st December 2025. And it is live only. I'm just going to change the date. Okay. So it will be very clear for your use. Now, sir, think logically. Think logically. Okay. In your outward supply, taxable portion may there may be chances of domestic supply, there may be chances of international supply, that is called as export. Okay. Or zero rated supply. So when I am using to say that is outward supply may be to registered person, may be to unregistered person. So while filing your GSTR-9 return, you have to provide the details related to registered person and unregistered person. Also, you have to provide the export with payment of tax, supply to special economic zone. Also, you have to provide the details on account of payment advances, on account of services. You also need to provide the details related to inward supply liable to reverse charge mechanism on which the recipient is going to make the payment of taxes. Sir, this is about your outward supply taxable portion, maybe B2B, B2CS, export with payment of tax, zero rated supply with payment of tax. There may be chances after making the supply, supplier issued, that is the taxpayer has issued the debit or credit note regarding enhancement or reduction of the liability. So on that account, debit and credit note will also be there. Okay. With that, sir, there may be chances you are making the supply related to nil rated non-GST exempted supply or zero rated supply. Or when you are making the nil rated non-GST exempted supply, zero rated supply, so there may be chances that the taxpayer is issuing the credit note or debit note regarding that supply. So two types of debit and credit note may be there regarding taxable supply, regarding not taxable supply. both should be reported. That is my second part related to outward supply. Sir, can I give you one homework? After completion of this session, what you need to do, just go and check the format of GSTR-9. I am not going to share with you in this session. There is one logic, because I want to give you one exercise. Through that particular format, when you will check, you will found B2B is there, B2CS is there, zero rated supply is there, special economic zone. So you will found the point, you will found the clarity in your mind that yes, whatever Mr. Sachin has discussed in the session, everything is there on GSTR-9, and it will give you a clarity. And those who already have the idea about the format of GSTR-9 and 9C, I request just visualize that format in your brain, so that each and everything will be clear. Sir, are you getting my point? The first part related to outward supply is okay for everyone? Just let me know once in the chat box. Everyone. Your confirmation in the chat box plays a very important role, sir. Yes, sir. Once confirm in the chat box, everyone, the part number second related to outward supply is okay for everyone. Once I will get the response from your side in the chat box, then also only will move to the second point. That is second part. That is third point, input tax credit. Thank you. Those who have provided the response in so let's take the third part, that is input tax credit. So while filing the GSTR-9 return, we also need to provide the bifurcation of input tax credit. Okay. Bifurcation of input tax credit means, as in our GSTR-3B return, we all are claiming the input tax credit. So government is asking that Mr. The input tax credit which you have claimed on monthly basis in your GSTR-3B return, just verify with your books of accounts, and annual figure you have to show in your GSTR-9 return. And they're asking for the bifurcation. So in the part 3 of details regarding input tax credit, they will provide the auto-populated detail of total input tax credit which you have claimed during the financial year from GSTR-3B. That is auto-populated. Now, sir, one change which has been made in the GSTR-9 of this year, that is, in the particular consolidated amount which is coming from GSTR-3B return, there may be chances during financial year 2024-25 the taxpayers claimed some input tax credit related to 2023-24 within the timeline of section 16 subsection 4. Now the point is that sir, when the taxpayer has claimed the input tax credit related to preceding financial year and the same is included in the consolidated figure, so earlier we have no option to bifurcate the input tax credit which is related to preceding financial year, but from this financial year onwards government has provided one additional table 6A1 in the GSTR-9 return, in which taxpayer is able to show the input tax credit related to the preceding financial year claimed during the current financial year. That facility has already been provided in the table 6A1. After deducting the preceding year related input tax credit, now the input tax credit is completely related to current year. So you have to provide the bifurcation. Sir, what do you mean by this bifurcation? So government is asking, there may be chances certain input tax credit you have claimed on account of forward charge. That means your supplier has supplied and you have claimed the input tax credit. Certain input tax credit may be of that nature on which the taxpayer has paid the taxes under reverse charge mechanism and claim the input tax credit section 9 subsection 3. So these two bifurcation you have to provide under forward charge, under reverse charge. Again, government want a further bifurcation. The input tax credit which you have claimed under forward charge, Mr. Just provide us the bifurcation. as input service or capital goods. Okay. So you may show input and input service consolidated in one tab, and capital goods you have to show separately. I request each one of you, those who have joined this session live, I request please stay live. This session is going to be very special for you. Okay, I will take your queries as well, but I request please be there in this session. Okay, because we'll cover the practical points of GSTR-9. While covering these points, I feel you all are able to visualize the form GSTR-9 and 9C. So bifurcation regarding forward charge. In reverse charge also they require a bifurcation. That is, you may taken the services or bought the goods from a registered person and paid the reverse charge mechanism, may from unregistered person and paid the reverse charge mechanism, both bifurcation. And also they are saying that, sir, under reverse charge mechanism also, there may be chances you have claimed the input tax credit on account of input service, capital goods, provide the bifurcation. Is that okay, sir? Then after, there may be chances you have imported certain goods or services, and as we all know, in case of import, the importer is liable to pay the taxes under reverse charge mechanism. So in your input tax credit table, you have to show the input tax credit on account of import of goods or services. There may be chances that you have received certain input tax credit from your head office as an input service distributor. That also you need to show. That is input on account of input service distributor. Okay. There may be chances certain input tax credit which you have reclaimed during the financial year. Sir, why reclaimed? Sir, during the preceding financial year, there may be chances you have not made the payment to your creditors within 180 days. Hence, you have reversed the same as per rule number 37. So now, if during the financial year you have made the payment to your creditors, you will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. So the same you need to show in ITC reclaim part. And sir, this is all about the claim of input tax credit regarding your forward charge, regarding your reverse charge, regarding of import of goods or services, input service distributor. There may be chances you have done certain reversals. So you have to show the consolidated figures of reversals as well, which you have already done in your GSTR-9 return, in your GSTR-3B return. Reversal on account of non-payment to the creditors within 180 days, rule number 37. Reversal on account of non-payment of the taxes by your supplier, rule 37A. Reversal for the non-banking and financial companies, rule number 38. Reversal on account of input service distributor, rule number 39. Reversal on account of input goods, capital goods, input services used for exempted as well as for taxable purposes, for business as well as for non-business purpose, rule number 42. The same in case of capital goods, rule number 43, section 17, subsection 5, blocked credit and other reversals. I hope you all are in situation to recall the complete reversal part table. Then after, your net ITC will be available, which you have utilized in your GSTR-3B return, you can say, or availed in the GSTR-3B return. Now you just need to compare that ITC with your GSTR-2B. Because now government is saying, Mr. Sachin, you will not be eligible to claim a single rupee of input tax credit without reflection in GSTR-2B. So they are asking for a reconciliation. And when you will talk about the reconciliation of input tax credit with GSTR-2B, there may be chances of difference between the input tax credit as per GSTR-9 and as per 2B. Reason being, first reason, certain input tax credit which is reflected in GSTR-2B in the current year, there may be chances you have not received the goods. And you have received the goods in the subsequent financial year, so you are supposed to claim that input tax credit in the subsequent financial year. So that you need to bifurcate. There may be chances certain input tax credit which is reflected in your GSTR-2B, but you have not availed, ITC available but not availed. There may be chances there may be chances certain input tax credit which is available in GSTR-2B but ineligible. Suppose certain sanitary related items has been bought by the taxpayer for his personal use and given the GSTN. So the ITC will be reflected in GSTR-2B. but the person will not be eligible to claim. So ITC available but ineligible, you have to show that. There may be chances certain input tax credit which you have claimed in your GSTR-3B on account of import of goods, but the same will not be available in your GSTR-2B. So this is also a reason, and all the remaining amount will be counted as ITC lapse. So in your input tax credit wala part, what we have done, sir, first we have taken the consolidated amount of input tax credit as per GSTR-3B. We have given a bifurcation: ITC related to preceding financial year, net ITC related to current financial year. Then you have given the bifurcation as forward or reverse, and you have given a further bifurcation: input service capital goods. Also you have given the bifurcation that ITC on account of import of goods. You have also given ITC on account of input service distributor and reclaim of ITC. After all this mathapachi, you have provided the calculation related to reversals: Rule 37, 37A, 38, 39, 42, 43, 17.5. Then after you have compared your net ITC with your GSTR-2B and you have provided various reasons as well. Sir, ITC wala part is okay for everyone. Just let me know. Total, we have around 100 participants live session, but I am getting response from only 20 to 25 participants. If you are not getting the points, you can mention it in the chat box. But if you are getting the points, then please put it in the chat box. Yes, this concept is okay for us. So that it will give confirmation to me as well. Also, it will give motivation to me as well that we are on a right way. We are on a right path. Everyone, now, sir, you have provided. Sir, my voice is audible now? For everyone, my voice is audible now? Okay, thank you. So, next, sir, what we have done, we have provided the details in GSTR-9 regarding the outward supply. We have also provided the details related to inward supply. Now, basically in our GSTR-3B, what we are doing? Outward supply, input tax credit, then remaining amount we have to pay through the cash ledger. That is the adjustment of tax payable. The same series is here in your GSTR-9 part number 4. Details of tax payable. Sir, through this particular table, and in this financial year, government has made one very positive change in this table, made one very positive amendment in this table. That is, government has provided additional facility. This particular table is coming from your GSTR-3B, okay, which you have filed on your monthly basis. Total tax payable will be there, and while filing the return, you have adjusted the same with your input tax credit. So adjustment with your ITC and the cash ledger, which is also there in this part 4. Now, suppose any liability which you are declaring in the 9 itself, that means you have not declared during the financial year, and also you have not declared within the timeline of section 16 subsection 4, that is 30th November. That means you are declaring it while filing the GSTR-9 itself. So basically, when you are declaring it in GSTR-9 itself, so government is saying that you may adjust your tax payable portion. You may adjust your tax payable portion. That means suppose in your GSTR-3B, total tax payable for the annual IGST 1 lakh rupees, CGST 50,000, SGST 50,000. You have adjusted it with cash and input tax credit in your 3B itself. But while filing GSTR-9, you found that this 1 lakh should be 1 lakh 10,000. So government has already given a facility. You can edit your tax payable part as 1 lakh 10,000. And you will not be eligible to edit the tax paid and adjusted portion. Now government has provided one additional table in which they will show you the differential tax amount. What do you mean? IGST, you are showing 1 lakh 10,000. Through cash and through ITC, you have already adjusted 1 lakh rupees during the financial year itself. Now 10,000, which is separately showing in an additional table, that is differential tax payable. Earlier, the same facility was not available. Due to that, there may be chances taxpayer may forget to pay the amount through DRC-03. But now the figure will be automatically reflected. So we'll keep in our mind that we have to pay this amount through DRC-03. Capital goods, if you have claimed the ITC of 20,000 rupees and you have reversed the same, you are not supposed to claim under any rule. The same is not covered. In that case, you can reverse it under other reversal 7H. Then part number 5, sir, we all are in India, or there may be chances that, sir, during the financial year we have not claimed the input tax credit, or during the financial year we have forgot to show any outward supply. So whether we can show it in any extended period of time. So government is saying yes. For that purpose, government has given the table 10, 11, 12 and 13, and government is saying that suppose during the financial year you forgot to show any outward supply, that is addition or reduction, you have 10 or 11. You can show any addition. Suppose during the financial year you have shown 1 crore rupees supply. In August the 2025 month, you have shown 50 lakh, also related to that financial year only. So while filing the GSTR-9 return, you have to show it in table 10, that is addition 50 lakh rupees tax liability, IGST, CGST, SGST. Vice versa, if you have shown excess figure and you have reduced the same in the subsequent financial year within the timeline of section 16 subsection 4, you have to show in table 11. Same in the ITC. If you have not claimed during the financial year and you have claimed in subsequent financial year, yes, you will be eligible. And same if you have excess claim and you have reversed the same during the subsequent financial year, you can show it in table 12 and 13. This is the part which is related to my tables. Now, these are the parts which is very much optional. That is, government is asking the details related to refund application filed under inverted duty structure or export, refund granted, refund rejected, refund pending. Also, government is asking any demand which has been raised during the financial year related to any cause. In that case, the demand raised, demand which has already been paid, demand which is still there, that we need to show. So in part 6, we have to show details related to refund claimed and demand raised. Okay. Then, and this particular table is completely optional table. If you want to show, you can show. If you don't want to show, you can ignore this particular step. Okay. Part number 7, that is details related to HSN and SSC code wise summary. Government is saying whatever will be your outward supply which you have made in your GSTR 3B and GSTR 1 return. While filing GSTR 1, you have also provided the HSN code wise summary 4 digit, 6 digit. So based on that, the same will be auto populated in your part number 7, HSN code wise summary outward supply. Okay. In that, the same will be available. Now you just need to reconcile it with your books of account. Suppose there is any change, in that case we have to provide the outward supply detail as per our books of accounts. For outward supply, it's mandatorily required. For input tax credit, HSN code wise summary is not mandatorily required. If you want to show, you can show. If you don't want to show, you can ignore this particular step. So part number 6, refund and demand is completely optional. HSN code wise detail on account of inward supply is optional. On account of outward supply, it is necessarily required. Okay. While filing the GSTR-9 return, some points which you need to keep in your mind. One thing, when you are providing the details related to your outward supply in part number 2, whatever will be the bifurcation which you are providing, the same should align with your books of accounts. Okay, there should not be any mismatch. So through this particular analysis, what we found in the GSTR-9 return, we are showing the outward supply and the bifurcation, input tax credit and the bifurcation. Based on that, tax payable and any input tax credit and outward supply which is related to the current financial year, we have made the adjustment during the subsequent financial year that we have to show. And based on that, we have to provide the HSN code wise details. Sir, this is my GSTR-9 return. Very basic. If you think logically, if you think practically, it is very easy to file GSTR-9 return. But while filing the GSTR-9 return, we just need to keep in our mind the provisions related to time of supply, value of supply, place of supply. If you were barely feeding the data in the GSTR-9 return, definitely you will just doing the work of a clerk. Okay, because as we all know very well that in very near future everything is going to be automated. Okay, your return filing will be automated, so this clerical work we should give less importance. While filing the 9 return, we also need to go for the analysis of the law. Okay, and we can provide additional service to our client as well through this particular process. Otherwise, what will happen? Client will say, Mr. X, Mr. Y is filing the return for 2,000 rupees, for 5,000 rupees. Why you are charging 10,000 rupees? So we just need to provide some additional services to our client. And also, while filing the GSTR-9 and 9C return, we just need to analyze each and every we just need to analyze each and every clause of the law as well. We just need to analyze section 15, section 10, 11, 12 from the perspective of GST, which plays a very important role. Okay, so now we have the GSTR-9C. Sir, 9 basically is okay for everyone. Just let me know once in the chat box. 9 basically okay for everyone. 9 is okay for everyone. Basically, 9 concept, GSTR-9. Now, I have one information for all of you. That is just a information. That is not an advertisement. Okay, this is just an information from my side, and the information is that, sir, today we have 45 minutes to conclude the session. Okay, this is a webinar, so I have tried to cover each and every point, and we'll also try to cover the GSTR-9C in next 15 minutes. Okay, also we have designed a detailed course on GSTR-9 and 9C, and this course is not a theoretical course. This is a practical course in which we'll cover each and every clause of GSTR-9 and 9C practically. That means we have form, we have Excel. We'll try to feed the details in GSTR-9 and 9C. We'll try to discuss each and every clause with reference to section. We'll try to provide each and every clause with calculations. With that, we'll cover each and everything with respect to law only. This session is going to be organized on 16th and 17th of November, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, the complete detail you can take through this QR code. Actual price of this course is 1199, but for today, for all our webinar participants, the price will be 699 only if you are supposed to register today itself. Okay, and yes, in this particular course, we are going to provide you around 230 pages, a complete ebook in which we have given each and every clause explanation, every amendment which is there. And we'll also share the techniques how you can file that GSTR-9 and 9C very smoothly, very easily with concept of law without mistakes. Okay, I think you should not delay. Just scan this QR code, make the investment of 699 for the session. Okay, and also those who will register for this specific course, you will get the support till 31st December regarding any query related to GSTR-9 and 9C. I suppose this is the best price, and this session has been taken by me only, so I can give you 100% assurance about the quality of the session. This is around 4 hour and 30-minute session in which we'll cover everything. Live session, each and every query will be discussed. Zoom platform, the session is going to be organized on 16th and 17th. So if you wish to register, you can scan this QR code and go for a registration. Okay. So those who are willing to register for this specific course, QR code is yours. You can take an image, you can register later on. But I suggest if you wish to file the GSTR-9 and 9C return in a very smooth, very effective way, you should enroll for this course. Okay. And yes, sir, this is not advertisement. This is just information from our side because we are providing this course at a very lower cost. Okay. So I wish you all should meet with me in this particular live course. Okay. Now, sir, GSTR-9C, if your turnover is 5 crore or more, in that case, this GSTR-9C is applicable. The due date to file the GSTR-9 will be 31st December 2025. Okay. With the GSTR-9C, we are just going to provide the reconciliation. Sir, I am always saying that if you have filed your GSTR-9 return perfectly, in that case, definitely you can file your GSTR-9C very perfectly. Everything is based on your GSTR-9. So while filing the GSTR-9, you should be very much careful. Okay. In our course as well, we'll give around 3 hours to the GSTR-9 itself and 1 hour 30 minutes to GSTR-9C. Because in 9C, nothing. It is just a reconciliation. The necessary efforts which we should make, which is under GSTR-9 only. Sir, you can check the QR code which is here. Okay, those who wish to take the image, they can take the image and they can go for the registration. Also, I am sharing in the group the direct link to register for the course. And I can personally assure you about the quality of the course. Okay, I have also shared the registration link in the YouTube chat. You can register for the course. Definitely, you will be 100% satisfied after this course. Now, you have to attach the audited financial statement with this GSTR-9C. Okay. And if you have multiple GSTN, the applicability should be decided pen based. Okay. In this particular GSTR-9C, your first part will be your basic details like GSTN, financial year, legal name, trade name, name of the act, that is income tax or act under which you are going for the audit, or Companies Act. Okay. That is completely auto-populated. Next. Sir, now in the GSTR-9C, what they are asking? They are asking the turnover as per your books of accounts, that is turnover as per audited financial statement you have to show. Okay. And you have to fetch the turnover of the specific PAN only. Okay. So the PAN based turnover for the financial year from the audited financial statement, and you have to compare that turnover with the GSTR-9 turnover. And if there will be any differences between the turnover, government has also given certain reasons for the differences, like unbilled revenue. There may be chances certain revenue which you have booked in your books of accounts, but the same you have not shown in GSTR-9 due to work completion, due to WIP. So multiple natures are there. There may be chances of unadjusted advances. You have paid the GST on account of advance received in GST records, but you have not booked in your books of accounts because invoice has not been raised. So that should be a part of adjustment. There may be chances of deemed supply to your one unit, so that you need to show. There may be chances of trade discount. There may be chances of any financial credit note which is affected in books of accounts, but the same is not there in your GST records. There may be chances differences due to foreign exchange fluctuations, valuation rules. There may be chances of difference. There may be chances you have registered under composition scheme during the some part of financial year, and for further part you are registered under regular scheme. So composition turnover you have to separately show. So these are the probable reasons which has already been listed out by the government. There may be any other reason. Hence, government has given a special tab in which they are asking the reason which is not listed above. So you have to put the figures. And when you are putting any figures in the specific part, reason not listed above, you have to provide the explanation as well. Explanation regarding point number 5.0. I request while filing the GSTR-9C return, just ensure there should not be a single rupee of unreconciled turnover. Okay. Or if the same is there for 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, then you just need to show unreconciled turnover due to rounding off, but no major differences should be there that we need to ensure. In part number 3rd, they are just ensuring the tax liability as per books of accounts and as per GST records. Sir, how we can fetch the tax liability as per books of accounts? Just generate the GSTR-1 from the books of accounts. Okay. When you will generate the GSTR-1 from the books of accounts, just take the rate wise summary regarding the outward supply. Okay. Every accounting software is much eligible to generate the rate wise summary. Okay. 5%, 12%, 18%, okay, 28%. So you just need to provide the rate-wise summary as per books of accounts, and as per GSTR-9, the same will automatically come from your tax payable part, and that should be reconciled. And if there will be any differences, we have to provide the reasons of the differences. Okay. Regarding input tax credit, you just need to compare the ITC as per your financial statement and ITC as per your GST records, that is GSTR-9. If any differences, then government has listed out two reasons. One, ITC related to preceding financial year claimed during the current financial year, ITC related to current financial year claimed during the subsequent financial year. These two reasons has already been identified by the government. If any other reason, then you have to provide. And I request, sir, if you have claimed any excess input tax credit, you have to reverse it while filing GSTR-9 itself. Don't take it in GSTR-9C, because in 9C you have to pay through the cash ledger. In 9 you can adjust through credit ledger. So we just need to ensure that our GSTR-9 should be very effective, because if you have filed your GSTR-9 in a very well manner, no adjustment is required in 9C. And one more request, before filing GSTR-9 return, we just need to prepare our 9C. That means both return should be filed simultaneously. Many times what we are doing, first filing the GSTR-9, after that we are starting for the preparation of GSTR-9C. Don't do this mistake. All the adjustment we should try to make it in GSTR-9 itself. The part number 5th, which is reconciliation of headwise input tax credit. This part is also optional part, in which the input tax credit which you have claimed, you just need to provide the bifurcation, as this ITC is on account of my expenditure, this ITC is on account of purchase, this ITC on freight, this ITC on account of rent. So various bifurcations you have to provide. For this financial year as well, this is completely an optional part. Okay. In the part number 6, you may show any additional tax liability. That means which you have not declared yet in your books of accounts in GSTR-9. So now you can declare it in GSTR-9C. But if you are declaring any additional liability in your GSTR-9C, just ensure payment should be made through DRC-03 through cash ledger only. Okay. Suppose in your books of accounts, in profit and loss account, certain trade interest is there. You have not paid the GST during the financial year. You have not paid while filing the GSTR-9 return. So at the time of 9C, you have to pay GST. So that liability you have to declare in your GSTR-9C return, additional liability. With that, while filing the GSTR-9C return, we just need to provide certain attachments like profit and loss account, balance sheet, form number 3CD. These are the documentation which we need to provide with the GSTR-9C statement. In this particular session, as I have already provided you a guarantee that, sir, I will conclude the session in 45 to 50 minutes. So 50 minutes has already been done. And just in 2 minutes, I am just going to provide you a recap. Sir, in GSTR-9, we just need to demand all the documentation in one set from our client. That is books of accounts, that is financial statement, audited financial statement, consolidated GSTR-3B, consolidated 1, and trial balance. We should schedule one exit meeting with our client. With that, we should take care that, sir, GSTR-9 is just an annual reconciliation, or it is a compliance, or it is a special documentation which you are providing to the government from the perspective of future litigations as well. Okay, to solve the future litigations as well, I can say you have to provide the bifurcation of your outward supply, taxable portion, not taxable portion. Under taxable portion, B2B, B2CS, export with payment of tax, zero rated supply, the special economic zone or advances. Under not taxable, related, exempted, non-GST, or the specific supply on which the recipient is liable to make the payment of taxes. Now, on account of these supply, there may be chances you have to issue the debit or credit note. So you have to show the debit and credit note as well. After completion of your outward supply, you have to focus on input tax credit. Bifurcation will be, first you need to segregate the last year input tax credit 6A1. Then after, you have to provide the bifurcation as from domestic market, as from reverse charge mechanism, ITC on account of import of goods or services, or the ITC on account of input service distributor or reclaim. ये तो हुई claim की बात. Now also you need to focus on the reversal. That is rule number 37, 37A, 38, 42, 43, 17, 5. and other reversals, please specify. Then after you have to compare your ITC with your GSTR-2B. There may be chances of reason of differences, that is the ITC related to current year you have claimed during subsequent year, ITC available but not claimed, ITC available but ineligible, or ITC lapsed or import of goods. Then after you have to provide the details related to adjustment of tax liability, and in the tax payable table government has provided one additional facility from this year onwards that you can show the differential tax payable that you need to pay through DRC 03. With that, you also need to provide the details related to the adjustment which is related to current financial year which you have made during the subsequent financial year within the timeline of section 16 subsection 4 turnover mein, or the input tax credit. Also, sir, refund claimed, refund due, refund pending, and demand raised related details which is completely optional. HSN code wise summary you have to provide in the table outward supply which is mandatorily required, and the same should be reconciled with your books of accounts. Inward supply not mandatorily required. And sir, when you will check the GSTR-9 dashboard, when you will check the GSTR-9 dashboard, you will find an additional download facility has been provided by government, table 12A. In the table 12A, you can easily download the Excel sheet of your HSN summary. So you can compare it with your books of accounts. If your turnover is 5 crore or more, in that case, your GSTR-9C will be mandatorily required. This GSTR-9C is nothing. This is just a reconciliation statement with your books of accounts. So you just need to take the audited financial turnover and you have to compare it with GSTR-9 turnover. There may be chances of differences like unbilled revenue, unadjusted advances, trade discount, financial credit note, composition scheme related turnover. Then after you have to compare your rate-wise outward supply from your books of accounts with your GSTR-9, and there should not be a difference. Then after you have to compare your input tax credit as per your books of accounts, that is audited financial statement, and as per your GSTR-9, there may be chances of differences. Two chances may be there. One, that is ITC related to preceding financial year claimed during the current financial year, ITC related to current year claimed during the subsequent financial year. Then after you have to provide the bifurcation of input tax credit headwise. This table is also optional table. And if you are declaring any additional liability in your GSTR-9C itself, you can declare it and you have to pay through the DRC 03 cash ledger. And also with your GSTR-9C, you have to submit the attachment like your financial statement, your audited financial statement, and form number 3CD. This is all about our GSTR-9 and 9C. And yes, I have also shared one very special information for all of you that we have a course on GSTR-9 and 9C, a 4-hour and 30-minute, a complete course, a practical course in which we'll discuss each and every table with figures in a very detailed way, with example, with practical industry-based example, with section-wise analysis. Okay, if you have not taken any session from me, in that case, I request must join this course. It will help you out a lot while filing the GSTR-9 and 9C. Yes, thanks to each one of you. I request at the end of the session, if you have any feedback about our session, I request please put it in the chat box, because your feedback, your comments in the chat box plays a very important role for me. So now it's your turn. Okay, whatever will be your feedback, you can put it in your chat box, and definitely it will give me a motivation, and I can say your feedbacks will be reward for me. So let's provide each and everyone your feedbacks. I request in the chat box. If GSTR-1 related details are different, which is reflected in GSTR-9, in that case, you have to change the details in GSTR-9. You have the opportunity to change the details. Okay. And if it is possible for you to invest 699 for this special course, invest it, because it will give you a very good amount of results. So you have just 2 minutes. Whatever will your feedback, I request each one of you. We have still around 100 participants. So whatever will be your feedback, please put it in the chat box. I am expecting around 100 feedbacks from the chat box. And yes, screen code is here. So if you wish to register, you can register for this course. And also, if you are not registering and you have any query, doubt related to GSTR-9 and 9C, you can easily connect with me. I am available on social media platform. You may, yes, the same is available on YouTube. Okay, you may search me on social media as CA Sachin Jain. Okay, you will find it. So you may connect with me regarding any query, any question, any doubt in GST. That facility is also available for all of you. For any professional help, I am always here. The same is available on YouTube recording. You can watch. Okay. Thank you everyone for your valuable feedbacks in the chat box. Your feedbacks literally plays a very important role for me. So thank you for your feedbacks. Yes, definitely we'll meet in another session, another webinar, another workshop, and another physical event. Thank you once again. Thank you, Team TaxGuru, for providing me the opportunity on their platform. So thank you, everyone. Let's meet. Let's enjoy the season of GSTR 9 and 9C with great efficiency and effectiveness. All the best to each one of you for the session. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.